Good evening, boys and girls, and welcome to tonight's flip video. As you requested, I'm going to do a review of turning fractions into decimals. So here we've got a fraction, and we have to identify which ones are equivalent. So we've got the box, which is shaded in. There are 4 pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, and there are 3 of them shaded in. Make this a little bit smaller. So we need to look for which ones are 3/4. So we see 3/4, 3/4, 3/4, 7/5. First thing we should do before we even worry about the decimals is see if 7/5 is equivalent to 3/4, so we know if we can eliminate that 7/5. 4 and 7 is 28. 3 and 5 is 15. So we know we can definitely eliminate that one. Now we have to determine which one is which, and there's a couple of ways we can do this. First way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take the 3/4 and turn that into a decimal. The way I'm going to do that is by using my calculator. Because we know fractions are just division statements that we read from top to bottom, we can easily take the 3/4 and turn it into into a decimal. So we do 3 divided by 4, which gives us equal 0.075 or 0.75. So then what we have to do from here is find which answer has 3/4 in a fraction and 0.75 as a decimal. So this one has 3/4 and 3.4. That would be like 3 wholes and then 4/10. So we'd have, we would have 3 of these shaded completely in and then a little bit more of the next one. So it can't be that one. 3/4, so far so good, and 0.34. Well, 0.34 is not the same thing as 0.75, which leaves us with this one. So 3/4, that matches. 0.75, that matches. So what I did was I took my fractions, checked if they were all equivalent fractions, and I was able to eliminate 7/5 because it was not equivalent. Then I moved on and I converted the decimal into a fraction, and I used a calculator just by typing in 3 divided by 4. Let's move on to your next one. Here you've got a bunch of circles, and some of them are shaded in, so I would like to know which one is true. So take a moment, grab a calculator, and solve this. Alright, hopefully by this point you have solved this. So I see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 is my denominator. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 shaded in. First thing I need to do, check the fractions. So I do have 6/10, I have 6/10, I have 3/5. Well, let's check if 3/5 is equivalent to 6/10. So a little butterfly action here. So far so good. Now, so I know that 3/5 is okay. So 6/10, and I've got the 1/2. Let's check if those are equivalent. I don't think it's equivalent because I know 5/10 is 1/2. It's always good to check. So I can eliminate D because it's not even possible because they're not equivalent. But I have to now narrow it down between the 3 ones that are left. So what I'm going to do is I'll take the 6/10 and I'll turn that into a decimal. So I've got 6/10, so I need to do 6 divided by 10. That will give me 0.6. So my final step in this process is just making sure I can find the one that matches. So I've got 6/10 and 0.6. Well, this first one says 6/10 and 6.0. That would be, I would have 6 holes shaded in. So I do have 6 holes shaded in, but this whole thing is one fraction, so that's incorrect. But you can see how that might get tricky. 6/10 and 0.06, well that's really close, but 0.06 is not equivalent to 0.60. Then I have 3/5 and 0.6. Well, that seems to be a problem because I don't have 6/10 in that. Oh, but I do remember that 3/5 is equivalent to 6/10. So that's why that one would be correct. So here's your bring back to school problem. You've got a fraction bar there. Figure out what the fraction is. Figure out what the equivalent decimal is. Remember, first thing you need to check is check if any of those fractions are equivalent to the fraction shown, and then you'll need to turn them into decimals and find the match. So I'll see you in the morning.